operatives unraveled a network of intermediary companies and individuals used to process the consignment, leading to the arrest of two key suspects, among others. Mara said Afolabi was arrested at the boarding gates of Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, on August 13, 2026, after intelligence indicated that he planned to flee the country on a business class flight to Paris. He said the suspect was found in possession of €7,750, €2,800, and 100,000 naira cash, as well as expensive jewelry. Salary crisis. NLC warns on fresh health sector strike. The Nigerian Labour Congress has urged the federal government to urgently resolve the lingering salary disputes with the joint health section unions, warning the failure to revive negotiation could trigger another industrial crisis in the health sector. The NLC made the call in a letter dated August 6, 2026, addressed to the Minister of Labour and Employment and Site Vice President Joe Ajaero. The leader followed the July 31 communication by the joint health sector unions, expressing frustrations over the slow pace of efforts to revolve its demands, particularly the adjustment of the consolidated health salary structure. The NLC said it was concerned that agreements, memorandum of the understanding, and collective bargaining agreements reached with the government over the years has yet to fully resolve the grievances of the health workers. It was similarly concerned the years after signing MOUs, terms of agreements, and CBAs, collective bargaining agreements, in addition to promises and assurance from appropriate authorities, members of the JOHESHU have been ignored and abandoned, Ajaero stated. The Labour Centre therefore appealed to Labour ministers to intervene and ensure the negotiations resumes immediately, while also urging him to engage the Presidential Committee on salaries on the matter. The NLC warned that failure to resolve the disputes could have serious consequences, particularly for healthcare delivery and industrial relations in the country. Although the NLC said its letters were not intended as a threat, it pledged to support JOHESHU in the union was compelled to take further industrial action. The latest development comes months after JOHESHU suspended an 84-day nationwide strike over the same Connex dispute. Health unions had commenced the indefinite strike in November 2025, following the federal government's failure to implement the adjusted CONHES and resolve other long-standing welfare concerns. Nigerians pay more for cement than African neighbors, FCCPC. The Federal Competition and Consumers Protection Commission has said its preliminary investigations into Nigerian cement industry suggest possible manipulation of cement prices, following widespread complaints over the soaring cost of the commodity despite the country's large production capacity and abundant limestone deposits. It also opened an investigation into possible price manipulation in Nigerian cement industry after the 3 months inquiry raised concerns that prevailing market conditions may not fully explain the cost of building materials. The preliminary findings follow the cross-border study conducted by the Commission's Anti-Competitive Practices Department in response to widespread complaints about the rising cost of cement. In a statement issued on Tuesday by the FCCPC Director of Corporate Affairs, Ondaje Ituaga, the Commission said the investigation compared Nigerian cement markets with those of Kenya, Tanzania, South Africa, Egypt, Morocco, Algeria, and Togo. The analysis of findings in the FCCPC report showed that the cost of cement in Nigeria is higher than the price of the same quantity of the commodity in neighboring African countries. This, however, came as a building sector leaders and economics explained that the factors behind the high cement prices in Nigeria are compounded. The study examined the availability of limestone, population, production capacity, consumption, and retail prices, the statement reads. The Commission noted that Nigeria has substantial limestone deposits and installed cement production capacity estimated at between 60 million naira and 65 million metric tons annually, against domestic consumption of about 25 million to 30 million metric tons. Despite the reported excess capacity in Nigeria's position as a net exporter to neighboring countries, the Commission said that domestic prices had continued to rise. Market intelligence reviewed by the FCCPC showed that 50 kg bag of cement, which sold for between 9,300 and 9,700 in January, rose to between 10,500 and 13,000 naira. By mid-year, by July, prices of between 13 and 15,000 naira were reported, in some parts of the country. Lagos pedestrians. Pedestrians shun bridges, risk deaths crossing highways. Despite the presence of pedestrian bridges built to provide safe passage across highways, some Lagos pedestrians continue to risk their lives by crossing roads directly. A visit to the pedestrian bridges around Oshodi, Isolo, 7 and 8 bus stop, and the natural area of the Muritala Mohammed International Airport Road, Ikeja, on Monday showed that the facilities were largely deserted as pedestrians were seen crossing busy road instead of using the bridges. Some of the pedestrian who spoke with our correspondent attributed their preference for crossing the road to the distance